breaking news for you tonight. You're looking at live images. This is the Fox Square in New York, outside of Fox headquarters. It appears that our giant Christmas tree there, just a couple of minutes ago, was completely engulfed in flames. It appears crews are there on the scene. You see the smoke in the aftermath as they're trying to get that under control. We're going to keep you posted. It is a large, beautiful, highly decorated tree right there on the Avenue of the Americas, 6th Avenue there in New York City. But our thanks to the crews who look like they have just about got that thing under control.
Did this to spoil our Christmas, but that's not going to happen. This Scrooge is not going to get away with it.
This is part of a bigger problem. It's the crime surge in this country. I'm just going through, taking notes to think, okay, what are we going to do on crime today? From Chicago to Philadelphia to Los Angeles, San Francisco to Beverly Hills on down. There is so much crime in places that were always safe, including 48th and 6th here. This is emblematic of these cities out of control. Defame and defund the police, and this bail reform that has these men and women, these assailants, these suspects out before they even can finish off the paperwork. This is what you get if you have these left-wing DAs and officials running these major cities. You get chaos.
You know what? I mean, I think Kilmeade is really speaking truth there, to be honest. I mean, we do have a problem with violent crime in this country. I mean, just last week, we learned of another school shooting where a teenager somehow had access to a firearm and opened fire in his school, killing 4 of his classmates. I mean, we really need to do something about this.
I read about a case where a kid went to a protest and shot a couple people and got away with it.
No guilty.
No, he's not guilty. In fact, he's like going and bragging about it on TV shows now. There's a big problem with criminality in this country.
I'm sure Kilmeade wants to do a lot about that, except he doesn't.
America had gone through a long period where people quit saying Merry Christmas. It was all happy holidays. You deliberately changed that. And openly said, Merry Christmas, we're going to say it again.
In fact, it was part of my campaign. The country had started with this woke, I guess, a little bit before that.
Yeah.
And it was embarrassing for stores to say Merry Christmas. You'd see these big chains, they want your money, but they don't want to say Merry Christmas. And they'd use reds and they'd use whites and snow, but they wouldn't say Christmas. And when I started campaigning, this was in 2015, when I started campaigning, I said, you're going to say Merry Christmas again. And now people are saying it, what I was doing. And so I would say it all the time during that period, that we want them to say Merry Christmas. Don't shop at stores that don't say Merry Christmas. And I'll tell you, we brought it back very quickly.
You really did.
And whether you're Muslim, whether you're Christian, whether you're Jewish, everyone loves Christmas. And they say Merry Christmas until these crazy people came along.
Well, I mean, it's a comedy routine, man. It really is. Who's on first? What's on second? All right, let's break it down. First of all, I like what they do with they invent a word that doesn't exist and then pretend that they won it. And that's why it doesn't exist anymore, right? So I'm gonna follow up on that. I got a new idea. You know what, these right-wingers, they're doing a war on oxygen, and I'm gonna end it. There, I just ended it. I'm the champion of the world.
I'm breathing
Everybody's breathing. Everybody's breathing again. Okay.
Oh my God.
Well, you're welcome, Chair.
Disney World, Disneyland, they're hiring black Santas.
Oh, good.
And before we get, Dave, have you ever seen a black Santa?
I guess if I'm in the wrong mall, you?
Figurines at Dollar Tree.
Oh my.
Here's the thing, I don't care. Quarterback Garrett?
Yep.
Did you want a black Santa? What about your full black relatives where they were like, I want a black Santa? If you had a black Santa show up, do you think you'd be like, oh, that must be one of his helpers from the mall?
I mean, it's obvious. All the ones in the mall, they're always the helpers.
This is the most blatant example of cultural appropriation that I can think of. Wearing a sombrero, Taco Tuesday, that you purchased from a Mexican is not cultural appropriation.
No.
Taking a historical figure who has been an important, arguably one of the most important cultural icons of Western civilization and changing the race is cultural appropriation. I don't care. I just don't know why it's necessary. I don't understand why people feel they need a black Santa Claus.
He
he just can't figure it out. I mean, no one's ever told him. He's never read a book. He's never opened his eyes. Never heard it from anyone ever. It's just what it is. You know what? Racism is based in ignorance. So yes, you are illustrating just what it means when you don't know what's going on around you in the world. Therefore, you just don't know. So you just hate those people and the folks that are going around in your world. So also, at the beginning of that, he goes, it's not that I don't really care. I don't care that much. And he goes on for several minutes about how much he cares about it because he's talking about it for several minutes. Do you care or do you not care?